Good evening, everyone. Shabbat Shalom from the Temple Sanctuary, where I miss all of you, but I hope you are tuning in on the live stream this evening. If you don't have a Mishkan Tefillah prayer book at home, we did send out an email yesterday that has the link to the virtual prayer book online. So if you want to call up that email from yesterday, you can just click on it, and the page numbers in the virtual prayer book now finally match the page numbers in the actual prayer book, so everybody should be able to follow along. We're going to begin on page 128 with the singing of Yedid Nefesh. Yedid Nefesh Rachama. Our service continues with the lighting of the Shabbat candles. Perhaps you have your Shabbat candles out at home and can light them together with me. We continue now on page 120 and 121 of the prayer book. O source of light and truth, creator of the eternal law of goodness, help us to find knowledge by which to live. Lead us to take the words we shall speak into our hearts and our lives. Bless all who enter this sanctuary in need, all who bring the offerings of their hearts. May our worship lead us to acts of kindness, peace, and love. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech ha'olam, asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav, v'tzivanu lehadlik ner, lehadlik ner shel Shabbat. Blessed are you, Adonai, our God, sovereign of the universe, who hallows us with mitzvot, commanding us to kindle the light of Shabbat. We'll continue now with Kabbalat Shabbat, the Psalms that welcome Shabbat, on page 134 with Zamru Ladonai. Zamru Ladonai bechinor, bechinor v'kol zimra, bechatzotrot הריעו לפני המלך אדוני. ירום הים ומלואו, תבל ויושביו. נהרות ימחאו כף יחד, הרים ירננו. ירום הים ומלואו, תבל ויושביו. נהרות ימחאו כף יחד, הרים ירננו. לפני אדוני קיווה לשפוט הארץ, ישפוט תבל בצדק ועמים במישרים. ירום הים ומלואו, תבל ויושביו. נהרות ימחאו כף יחד, הרים ירננו. ירום הים ומלואו, תבל ויושביו. נהרות ימחאו כף יחד, הרים ירננו. We continue now on page 138 as we welcome the Sabbath bride with Lecha Dodi. Lecha Dodi likrat kala, pnei Shabbat nekabela. 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 Shamor v'zachor b'dibur echad, ishmi'anu el hamiuchad. Adonai echad u'shemo echad, l'shem u'tiferet v'lithilah. Lecha Dodi likrat kala, pnei Shabbat nekabela. Lecha Dodi likrat kala, pnei Shabbat nekabela. Likrat Shabbat lechu v'nelcha, ki makor habracha, merosh mikedem nesucha, sof ma'aseh b'machshava tchila. Lecha Dodi likrat kala, pnei Shabbat nekabela. Lecha Dodi likrat kala, pnei Shabbat nekabela. Toreri, kiva ore גם בשמחה ובצהלה, תוך אמוני עם סגולה, בואי חלה, בואי חלה. We continue on page 247. You are the open door that beckons me in. Peeking around the doorframe, I begin to enter into your glory. You move me forward, O Eternal, to step beyond self-made boundaries. Lift my foot over the threshold that I might abide with you. In the house of the Eternal, I found my questions waiting to be posed. They filled me with wonder. Sit with me, Eternal Teacher. Encourage my seeking. As I fill my hours with your mitzvot, so shall I be filled. Send me through your door, stretching up to honor your name, sharing out this wonder, enriching myself in the giving. We continue now with the Chatzi Kaddish on page 144. Yitkada v'yitkada shemei rabba, Be'alma divarach yirutei v'yamlich malchutei, B'chayeichon uv'yomeichon, Uv'chayei dechol Beit Yisrael, Bagala, Bagala, Uv'yizman kariv, Ve'imeru, Amen. Yehei Shemei Rabba Mevorach, Le'alam ulal me'almaya, Yitbarach, Yitbarach ve'yishabach, Ve'yitpa'ar ve'yitromam ve'yinaseh, Ve'yithadar ve'yit'aleh ve'yithalal, Shemei dekudsha berichu. Le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata, tushbechata v'nechemata, da'amiran belma, ve'imeru, amen. We rise now for the Baruch Hu, page 146. Page 148. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher bidvaro ma'ariv aravim. Bechochma poteach she'arim, uvitvuna meshane itim, umachalif et hazmanim, umsader et hakochavim, b'mishmerotehem barakia kirtzono. Borei yom v'layla, golel or mipnei choshech, v'choshech mipnei or. Uma'avir yom umevi layla, umavdil bein yom uvein layla, Adonai tzvaot shemo. El chai v'kayam, tamidim lo chalenu le'olam va'ed. Baruch atah Adonai, ham'ariv aravim. Otanu limadata. Alkein Adonai Eloheinu b'shochbeinu uvkumeinu nasiach bechukecha v'nismach b'divrei toratecha uv'mitzvotecha le'olam va'ed ki heim chayenu ve'orech yameinu uvam nege yomam balayla nege yomam balayla ve'ahavatcha tasir mimenu le'olamim Baruch atah Adonai ohev amo Yisrael ohev amo Yisrael. Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad. Baruch Shem Kevod, Shem Kevod, Malchuto le'olam va'ed. Please be seated. We continue with the Ve'ahavta, page 154. Ve'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha b'chol levavcha u'v'chol nafshecha u'v'chol me'odecha ve'hayu hadvarim ha'ele asher anochi mitzavecha hayom al levavecha ושיננתם לבניך, ודיברת בם, בשבתך בביתך, ובלכתך בדרך, ובשוכבך ובקומך, וקשרתם לאות על ידיך, והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך, וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך, למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותי, והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים, להיות לכם לאלוהים. אני אדוני אלוהיכם. The top of page 239. Emet, there is no place where you are not. Even in the wilderness, there is your word. Emet, that pen strokes of lightning, white fire, black flame, stir the soul's passion, guide our sacred way. True and enduring is Torah. Your truth for us is certain and established, now and forevermore. Like Moses, Miriam, and all Israel, we sing out and rejoice. Micha Mocha, page 158. ונאמר כי יפת אדוני את יעקב וגאלו מיד חזק ממנו ברוך אתה אדוני גאל ישראל. We continue with our nighttime prayer Hashkivenu on page 160. Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu leshalom Hamideinu shomreinu lechaim. Spread the shelter of your And we give thanks for the gift of Shabbat with Vishamru, page 162. Vishamru. Shamayim ve'et haaretz ve'shamru b'nei Yisrael et haShabbat lasot et haShabbat ledorotam berit olam uvayom hashvi'i Shabbat vayinafash Shabbat vayinafash ve'shamru b'nei Yisrael et haShabbat lasot et haShabbat ledorotam berit olam ve'shamru b'nei Yisrael et haShabbat lasot et haShabbat ledorotam berit olam. We rise for the tefillah on page 164. Adonai sefatai tifta ufi agi tehilatecha. Adonai, open up my lips that my mouth may declare your praise. Ya la 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 la, 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 ya la 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 la. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu ve'Elohei avotenu ve'imotenu, Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzchak, ve'Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, ve'Elohei Leah, Ha'el Hagadol, Hagibor v'Hanora, El Elyon, Gomel Chasadim Tovim, Ve'konei HaKol, Ve'zocher Chasdei Avot ve'imachot, U'mevii ge'ula livnei v'neihem, L'ma'an shemo be'ahava, Melech Ozer u'Moshia u'Magen, Baruch atah Adonai, Magin Avraham Bezrat Sarah, Ata Gibor leolam Adonai, Mechayei hakol ata Rav lehoshia, Mechalkel chayim bechesed, Mechayei hakol berachamim rabim, Somech noflim verofei cholim, Umatir asurim, ומקיים אמונתו לשני עפר. מי כמוך בעל גבורות ומידו מלך, מלך ממית ומחיה ומצמיח ישועה, ונאמן אתה להחיות הכל. ברוך אתה אדוני מחיי הכל. אתה קדוש ושמך קדוש, וקדושים בכל יום יהללוך סלה. ברוך אתה אדוני האל הקדוש. Please be seated. We continue on page 175. You are with us in our prayer, our love, and our doubt, in our longing to feel your presence and do your will. You are the still, clear voice within us. Therefore, O God, when doubt troubles us, when anxiety makes us tremble, when pain clouds the mind, we look inward for the answer to our prayers. There may we find you, and there find courage, insight, and endurance. And let our worship bring us closer to one another, that all Israel and all who seek you may find new strength for your service. Baruch atah Adonai, she'otcha levadcha b'yir'ah na'avod. Page 178. Shalom Rab, Yisrael Amcha, Tasim, Tasim Leolam. Shalom Rab, Yisrael Amcha, Tasim, Tasim Leolam. Ki ata umelech adon lechol hashalom. Ki ata umelech adon lechol hashalom. Shalom Rab al Yisrael Amcha, Tasim, Tasim Leolam. Shalom Rab al Yisrael Amcha, Tasim, Tasim Leolam. L'tov be'einecha levarech et amcha Yisrael b'chol עת ובכל שעה בשלומך. We think now of those in our families and our community who are in need of healing. This Shabbat, we are sending healing prayers, especially to Eloise Rapino. And I invite you to add the names of your loved ones who are in need of healing as we join together in singing Misha Berach on page 371.
מקור הברכה לאמותינו. May the source of strength who bless the ones before us help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say Amen. Yisheberach imotenu makor habracha lavotenu. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shlema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say Amen.
We pause now for a moment of silent prayer.
Let us sing this song for the turning of the world, that we may turn as one. With every voice, with every song, we will move this world along, and our lives will feel the echo of our turning. With every voice, with every song, oh, we will move this world along. With every voice, with every song, we will move this world along, and our lives will feel the echo of our turning. Let us sing this song for the loving of the world, that we may love as one. With every voice, with every song, we will move this world along, and our lives will feel the echo of our loving. With every voice, with every song, we will this world along, and our lives will feel the echo of our loving. Let us sing this song for the healing of the world, that we may heal as one. With every voice, with every song, we will move this world along, and our lives will feel the echo of our healing. With every voice, with every song, we will move this world along. With every voice, with every song, we will move this world along, and our lives will feel the echo of our healing. Let us sing this song for the praying of the world, that we may pray as one. With every voice, with every song, we will move this world along, and our lives will feel the echo of our praying. With every voice, with every song, we will move this world along. With every voice, with every song, we will move this world along, and our lives will feel the echo of our praying, and our lives will feel the echo of our healing, and our lives will feel the echo of our loving, and our lives will feel the echo of our turning.
Malala Yousafzai made a decision after being shot in the head to devote her life to fighting for the rights of girls around the world to be educated. Nachshon ben Aminadav was first to step fearlessly into the Red Sea when the Israelites all around him were wringing their hands hopelessly. Colin Kaepernick decided to kneel during the national anthem before football games to protest racial injustice, while others around him stood. Barbara Osfeld, inspired by the beauty of Jewish musical tradition and the Reform movement's teachings on social justice, decided to pursue cantorial ordination, despite the fact that at the time only men were eligible to be ordained. Greta Thunberg decided to skip school on a Friday to sit outside Parliament and draw attention to the urgent issue of protecting the planet. Nelson Mandela's uncompromising defiance of a cruelly repressive government led him to become the first elected president of a democratic South Africa. Tarana Burke began using the hashtag #MeToo to help show survivors of sexual abuse that they are not alone, when no one else was speaking out about it. What enables individuals such as these to follow through on their convictions when the rest of us regular people sit at home and wonder what we can do to help change things? What enables some of us to confidently speak out and handicaps the rest of us with uncertainty and doubt? This week's Torah portion, Parashat Chukat, paints a picture of a quite distressed group of Israelites in the desert. In this portion, Miriam dies, the people complain about their lack of water, the king of Edom refuses to let the Israelites pass through, Aaron dies, and the people are punished for their complaining. In the midst of all this sadness and chaos, Moses famously hits the rock to draw water out for the people. The rabbis interpret this act of violence to be an instance of Moses not listening to God, and thus cite it as the reason he is kept out of the promised land. Elsewhere in the Bible, early on in the book of Isaiah, in chapter 6, Isaiah describes a vision where God asks, "Who shall I send? Who will go for us?" And Isaiah responds, "Hineni, shilacheni, here I am, send me." In the verses just prior to this, Isaiah describes an internal battle with his own sense of worthlessness and sin, and then a strange purification ritual involving an angel touching his lips with a burning coal. The point being, he really goes through a lot of drama and self-doubt in quite a short amount of text before he's able to announce his readiness to serve and lead. These days, some of us may feel we are living in a world of chaos, similar to that depicted in this week's Torah portion. The challenges of the world may feel like they are weighing us down. We may be filled with a sense of hopelessness, perhaps facing challenges we thought were conquered decades ago. We may be overcome with empathy for those in our communities who are suffering due to the current economic situation, unequal access to resources, care, and support, the inability to get what they need. Perhaps we ourselves are directly impacted by all the tumult and unrest in the world around us. How can we overcome a sense of paralysis to step into the role of being an agent for change, for tikkun olam, in a world that seems so broken? How can we speak up and say, "Hineni, shilacheni, here I am, send me"? Not allowing Moses to enter the promised land always seemed to me like a pretty steep price to pay for hitting a rock. I have long wondered how the rabbis could use this act as justification for Moses not getting to see his dreams fulfilled. But sometimes we can get worn down to a point where we truly cannot see the blessings that surround us. I would guess most of us have experienced this. Feelings of unshakable grief, of intense overwhelm, agitated anger, or deep despair that it seems impossible to overcome. Often we can fall into these pits when many difficulties pile up on us at once, as we see in our Torah portion, and we feel like we can't find a moment to pause and gain perspective. Think about it. Sometimes a sink full of dirty dishes is a small thing to take care of, and sometimes it can be overwhelming and upsetting if we feel like we just don't have a moment to take care of it in the midst of other things demanding our attention. There are very few things in our lives that are universal truths. Most of what we experience is completely filtered through our own brains, hearts, and souls. So perhaps it is the soul we need to look to for an answer here. At this point in Moses' life, perhaps it was his soul that could not prepare to enter the promised land. At another time in his life, if the Israelites complained to him, perhaps he would not have flipped out, but would have been able to calmly comfort them. Maybe by this point, he was too worn down by the stresses of the long journey. I wonder if he had made it to the promised land, if he would not have been able to truly experience it. The toll the journey had taken on him may have been too much. And so his legacy remained in getting the Israelites this far and passing the torch to a worthy successor, Joshua, who, with years of strength and stamina before him, stood up and said, "I am here, send me." The story of Isaiah's vision and his spiritual purification is a story we may look to as a guide. It may be that we must face our own sense of worthlessness and imperfection honestly before we can stand up and lead. As it says above our ark, "Da lifnei mi ata omed," know before whom you stand. Know your humanness, your humility, your place. Know you are part of something larger that extends far before your time and after. We may feel bad for Moses' fate, but we also inherit his legacy, and still today, thousands of years later, we carry it forward. We are not given any answers here about the sure path forward to justice and peace. What we are given is portraits of many different kinds of people in our tradition who all find their own unique paths to leadership. We may not be able to put our finger on what distinguishes Moses from Isaiah or Malala from you and me. But our tradition teaches us that with careful consideration and inner work, we each can become empowered to stand up and say, Hinani, shilacheni, here I am, send me. May we each seek the time this Shabbat to tend to our inner lives so that we may move forward prepared to work for a better world. Ken Yehi Ratzon, may it be God's will. A few announcements this evening. I will be making the announcements as a representative of the temple. I get to wear every single hat tonight. This Sunday, I hope you will all join us for our concert, Songs of Hope, which will feature, of course, yours truly, Andy, Bob, and two very special guests who are traveling from Columbus, John Stefano and Debbie Costa from Congregation Beth Tikva. Hope you will join us. It is a fundraiser for Ukraine. And the suggested donation, but any amount or no amount is completely fine, is $18 per person. Any additional donations, of course, are welcome. There will be a receptioning following the concert where we will have a chance to greet you. Also, another special upcoming event on July 22nd, we will get to welcome our first guest rabbi this year, Rabbi Arnie Sludelberg, and he will be here to lead Shabbat services prior to services at 4 p.m. on the 22nd. Rabbi Arnie will be leading a workshop titled The Art of Service Leading. It is open to anyone, but it is teaching about the ins and outs of how to lead a service. So if you've never done it before, you may be interested in attending 4 p.m. on the 22nd, and then services will be followed by Shabbat dinner. Please RSVP to the temple office. We turn now to our concluding prayers. The Aleinu can be found on page 586. Will you please rise?
עלינו לשבח לאדון הכל, לתת גדולה ליוצר בראשית, שלא עשנו כגויי הארצות, ולא שמנו כמשפחות האדמה, שלא שם חלקנו כהם, וגורלנו ככל המונם, ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא, ונאמר והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ ביום ההוא, ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד, ושמו אחד.
Please be seated. We continue on page 595. It is hard to sing of oneness when the world is not complete. when those who once brought wholeness to our life have gone, and naught but memory can fill the emptiness their passing leaves behind. But memory can tell us only what we were in company with those we loved. It cannot help us find what each of us alone must now become. Yet no one is really alone. Those who live no more echo still within our thoughts and words, and what they did is part of what we have become. We do best homage to our dead when we live our lives more fully, even in the shadow of our loss. For each of our lives is worth the life of the whole world. In each one is the breath of the ultimate one. In affirming the one, we affirm the worth of each one whose life now ended, brought us closer to the source of life, in whose unity no one is alone, and every life finds purpose. Our thoughts turn now to our loved ones who are no longer with us, whose memories continue to comfort and inspire us. We think especially the Shabbat of Owen L. Stroll, who was taken from us in recent weeks, and for whom the period of Shloshim is still being observed. We also remember the victims of the Highland Park parade shooting who were murdered this week. We also think of those whose yahrzeit, the anniversary of their death, is observed this Shabbat. We remember Joan Barczyk, Artie Bauer, Arthur M. Epstein, Julius Feibelman, Yvette Friedman, Leah Friedman, Sidney P. Green, Barth Samuel Greenberg, Vera S. Greenwald, Charles Harris, Natalie Hyman, Morris Jaffe, Howard Joseph, Paul L. Kahn, Adele H. Kaiden, Thomas Klein, William E. Klein, Sylvia Nast Leitner, Shirley Levin, Edgar Levitt, Samuel Liebov, Jane Liebus, Selma D. Moore, Samuel Nathanson, Charles Newberry, Alec Rawitcher, Louis Rosenthal, J. Adrian Scheibel, Joseph Sugarman, Arthur A. Singer, Max C. Tavel, and Philip H. Zimmerman. We rise now as one community and join together in the Mortar's Kaddish, the Kaddish Yatom, on page 598. Yit Gadal v'yit Kadash Shemei Rabbah, be'alma divarachi rute v'yamlich malchute, b'chayechon u'v'yomechon u'v'chayei dechol Beit Yisrael, ba'agala u'vizman kariv v'imru amen. Yehei Shemei Rabbah mevarach le'alam u'lalmei almaya, Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh, v'yithadar v'yitaleh v'yithalal shemei dekudsha b'richu, le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata, tushbachata v'nechamata, da'amiran be'alma v'imru amen. Yehei shalama rabba min shamaya v'chayim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. Oseh shalom b'imromav, hu yaseh shalom. Aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael ve'imru amen. May the source of peace send peace to all who mourn and comfort to all who are bereaved. As we say together, amen. We will close this evening with words of blessing that come from Psalm 29, Adonai Oz, which you can find on page 642.
Adonai, Oz Shalom, Shalom, Adonai oz le'amo yitain, Adonai oz le'amo yitain, Adonai oz le'amo yitain, Adonai yevarech et amo.
Shabbat Shalom, everyone. Don't go anywhere. That was a joke. Don't go anywhere. We're going to do Kiddush and Motzi. You don't have to go anywhere. You're home already. If you'd like to follow along with Kiddush, it's on page 123 of the prayer book.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, borei peri hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav v'ratzavanu, v'shabbat kodsho be'ahava uvratzon hinchilanu, zikaron l'maseh v'reishit, ki hu yom tehila lemikra'ei kodesh, zecher litziat Mitzrayim, ki vanu v'charta ve'otanu kidashta mikol ha'amim, ve'shabbat kodshecha be'ahava uvratzon hinchaltanu. Baruch atah Adonai mekadesh hashabbat. Amen. L'chaim.
And we will join together in Motzi.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, hamotzi lechem min haaretz. Amen.
Shabbat Shalom.